spent the day clearing roads, but there are still some slick spots around the Miami Valley. Meteorologist Eric Zarnitz live with a look at current conditions. He's out there with our Skype camera. Eric, where are you?
Hey, Mark, yeah, we're just off Wyoming Street up on Beaumont, and what's happened is most of these roads are actually in pretty good shape, the primary streets and, of course, the interstates. But once you get off onto the secondary roads, that's where you see issues like this. You've got cars parked on the right side of the street, also on the left. The plow hasn't had a chance to come down the road, and just a minute ago, we were actually parked on the side of the street here, and we were trying to move, and we're stuck for a couple of seconds as we tried to get going up this hill. So yeah, as you're headed out tonight, maybe you're going over to a friend's house, be careful on those secondary roadways. Also, keep in mind, this isn't a one-way street, so if someone was to come down from the other side, we'd either have to pull off to the right or they would have to pull off to the left. And you also have to keep in mind when you're going up and down some of these hills, you have to give yourself plenty of stopping distance or you're going to find yourself in one of those fender bends. Be careful. Again, the snow has mostly come to an end, but we have some problems. Reporting live in South Dayton, Eric Zarnitz.
Okay, Eric. Overnight snow and icy conditions caused a huge mess along I-675 this morning. A pileup forced crews to shut down the northbound side of the interstate just before the Colonel Glenn exit for more than an hour. Jordan Burgess shows us the mess.
Crumpled cars with beat-up bumpers and bashed-in bodies blanket this interstate like a layer of snow, something that always seems to happen when the flakes and drivers start to fly.
I don't think there's anything magical about this piece of road. I just think that people drive too fast.
Authorities are still investigating what caused this wreck on Interstate 675 this morning that sent one person to the hospital with minor injuries and backed up traffic for hours. Witnesses say this gray Buick spun sideways for some reason. This blue car behind it couldn't stop and slammed into it. One of those cars clipped this semi that was broken down on the side of the road. The definition of wrong place, wrong time.
Got me wondering what really just happened.
This third car apparently slid into the snow-covered median trying to avoid the crash.
It was definitely very crazy because there's a lot of vehicles trying to still go through here after the vehicles had spun out.
The crash had many of those stuck behind it gripping their wheels instead of punching the clock.
I kind of expected to be sitting at my desk by now and getting some work done, but obviously that'll have to wait a little longer.
Those forced to sit through the snowy scene could all agree on one thing.
I think we've all had enough of the winter. That's for sure.
I was ready for winter to end about a month ago, and so yes, I'm very much ready for winter to end.
Jordan Burgess, 2 News on your side.
Well, with all of this snow, attention is turning to the side streets and the like, and that is where the private snow companies are really cashing in right now. Holly Samuels live in Dayton with a look at their work. Holly?
Mark, big piles of snow equal big piles of money for those companies, and one of the biggest money makers, obviously the side streets, but also parking lots for anyone with a plow. We caught up with a crew from Blade Cutters Lawn and Landscaping earlier today. They were clearing the parking lot at an apartment complex. They hadn't stopped plowing since 6 o'clock yesterday morning. That's right, not this morning, but yesterday morning. The guys say they've been working nonstop for days. Last week alone, they put in 90 hours of work. They say they are glad to have a job because they're usually laid off for the winter season since they're usually doing landscaping, but it is an exhausting job, and this time around, they say it's just been too much snow too fast.
4 inches is nice. You can disappear kind of quick, but when you get bombarded like this, it's a lot of work, you know, and then you got everybody wanting to complain and this and that, but we're trying our best, you know, to get rid of the snow. I mean, we're out here night and day, a couple hours of sleep each day, and just do what you can do. That's all you can do.
They say they do have one request for you as they're out here trying to get the job done as quickly as they can. They ask that you be careful around them. They say that having drivers and pedestrians around who aren't paying attention makes their job just that much harder. Reporting live in Dayton, Holly Samuels, 2 News on your side.